Good morning, YouTube. Just realised that I finally have a bit of a diet face, which is nice when I'm only like, I can't even think, 19 days out. So it's finally come in. But yes, 19 days out, we're in the teens. I'm finally getting like quite excited about it now. The last sort of 5-6 weeks it's a tricky one because although it's quite close, it still feels quite far away, if that makes sense. But I know in the grand scheme of prep, because my prep's been like, well, I've been on prep now for about 22, 23 weeks. So it really, in the grand scheme of that, it's really close. But yeah, it's been a bit of a slog. But yeah, it is approaching fast now. So it's really, really exciting. I'm quite happy with the way I'm looking. Just done a check-in video. I'll probably put it up before this clip. And yeah, I'm happy with where I am sitting. It's a tricky one because this is the first time I've really committed to a coach for a prep. And yeah, I kind of want to push more. Like I want more, like always want more. And he's telling me no, basically. So it's quite hard to trust the process and not do additional stuff because I'm feeling quite fresh. Like I feel like I can do it. So yeah, it is quite hard to put the trust in him, but I'm just trying to do it, ticking my boxes that I'm given, and yeah, just trust the process. But anyway, I'm mixing up the cardio sauce a little bit today. So I'm going out for a run in the morning. I don't usually do this and I do not recommend it for regular cardio, going out for runs. The reason being is because you want to select a cardio source that's as low impact and causes the least amount of fatigue on your body as possible. And running can cause quite a lot of impact, and it does cause fatigue. Like, I mean, our training causes enough fatigue as it is. So you want to choose something that's like joint friendly, really. Like my favorite is cross trainer. Cross trainer is just such a smooth action. You know, you pick the resistance, you've got your heart rate monitor on there, and it's just a really easy, trackable cardio source that you can use. So that being said, if you like running, every now and again, if your body's feeling fresh, you can implement it in prep, which is why I'm going out now. I'm going to go out. I'm just going to replicate what I have been doing on the cross training. So I'm going to keep my heart rate around 140 beats per minute, and I'm going to go out for 30 minutes. So it's not going to be anything strenuous. I'm in for push later on with another online coach called Matt Smart. Trained with him a couple of times. Absolutely love training with him. He puts the effort in, like high intensity. And he's competing later in the year. So when you surround yourself with people on a similar mission, honestly, it makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. So yeah, looking forward to that. And I'm just going to take you through a day in the life, really. Obviously, the last couple of episodes has been about Georgia traveling for the FITX Community Day, photo shoots, things like that. I haven't really done too much about my prep. She's in a mini cut at the moment because we're going on holiday shortly after prep to Greece. So we're really excited for that. So she's on a bit of a mini cut for that. And yeah, hopefully I'll be shredded as well because it'll be after show. I mean, it's about 8 days after show, so I'd like to think I'm not going to be straight away fat fuck after that. Hopefully I can hold the condition for the holiday and get some epic pictures. Back from the run, so it's about an hour later. Quite enjoyed the run actually. It was good. It was good. My fitness is actually all right, but because I haven't run for a while, it felt a bit jointy. Does that make sense? I felt it in the joints a little bit.
Just because you've got no fat on your joints.
It may be, but yeah, I won't be running again. I don't think. Play it safe with the cross trainer. But okay, so on to breakfast. First meal of the day. So training fasted, there's no real benefits. Like this subject still comes up quite a lot, and one of my clients actually asked me just a few days ago. There's no real benefits to it. Like, they say that it burns more fat when you do cardio with no food in you, but like, yes, it might do that at the time, but then if your calorie intake is still the same, you're just going to burn those carbs later in the day, right? And then if it was vice versa, if you ate first, then you'll just burn more carbs first, and then you'll burn fat later in the day. So it all evens out to about the same. Like there's no real studies been done proving either way. So the only time where training cardio fasted is a benefit is if you have like additional fat burners in your stack, such as HGH or your Himbine. Like, then it does work synergistically with working out fasted. But yeah, anyway, do whatever you prefer, whatever you prefer. So first meal of the day is literally just oats for me. Ooh. I only get 40 grams of oats, which is really, really quite depressing. To be fair, that's a choice because I could eat more. I'm not on a meal plan. I do macros, but I like to eat the same meals every day. So I'm am a meal plan. It's a bit of a hybrid. I'm really like OCD with it. I don't like to deviate too much. And Georgia absolutely hates the way I make oats.
It's diabolical.
Cream of rice, oats. Maybe I just need like...
You've got no raspberries.
Oh no, my oats really will be shit without raspberries.
Look how much water you put in. It's awful. That's why you have no volume.
Yeah, but what do you mean? That was quite a lot of water
That's
for me.
not.
That was more than normal. Okay, so this is a lifesaver on prep, which we are running low on as well. We need to go shopping today.
We are going shopping today. I've just noticed a difference in our water bottles as well, on the sides. So there's yours, and mine's behind you.
That's yours?
Yes.
Very nice.
That was a gift.
Fill that up loads.
Yeah, that was a gift from clients.
Yeah, what is it like? 600 mils?
I don't know, I just drink it loads.
Extra steps. But anyway, yeah, so this lifesaver on prep. Georgia knows she had this throughout her prep as well.
I only got 1 square a day on my prep.
I get 2 squares.
I get 4 now.
It makes me excited to go to bed because I get to wake up and have a bit of chocolate.
I knew other bikini girls that would wait until bedtime to have it for bed as a bedtime treat. But I had to have mine first thing in the morning.
I like it first thing in the morning. So, yeah, gonna have breakfast, do some client check-ins. We usually do our check-ins first thing in the morning because that's when we're most energized. And then train. So yeah, I'm training with Matt today. We're gonna do a push day. I probably won't record too much footage. I'll just get a couple of big sets. And then yeah, crack on with the day. Thought I'd show Georgia my oats.
They are awful.
She gets triggered every time.
He's like... I know there's a difference between like thick and runny oats, but when you're on prep and like you're starved, so I would have 40 grams of oats, but I would literally spend like 5-10 minutes with more water mixing and making that into volume. Like that's...
Oh shit, that's way too much.
That's like stodge.
Stodge?
Yeah.
It is a bit stodgy.
Like the protein powders... It's not gonna. It's just gonna sit on it because there's no moisture.
I'm really depressed I've got no raspberries. But this caramel biscuit flavour, it's the one. I still don't think it's as good as carrot cake though. This is my new second place.
And where can you get it from?
GMT supplements. I'm so shit at progress. And I usually put a bit of cinnamon with it. Does that make my oats better?
No.
Is it rather your oats?
Oh, I know. No, definitely not. But I will happily say I'm a bit like I know that looks awful. That look at
breakfast of champs.
What?
Obviously, I mixed it together.
Yeah, but that won't mix. Look at it.
Yeah, it's all right. All goes in the same way, doesn't it?
When you're truly hungry, there's so many better ways to make that.
I haven't got time.
You've got loads of time.
I'm busy.
No, you're not. When you're hungry, you make time. But we should do like because if you've ever seen my stories, Matt's cream of rice is diabolical as well.
Yeah, my cream of rice is bad. I have to get Georgia to make it for me now.
Matt couldn't work the stove for ages, so he could never turn it on.
Stove? It's so hard. I hate this stove. Gas stoves, you don't want it. Bend them off.
I mean, everyone else could, but Matt couldn't work it. So
I'll do it so gently. You know how it does the clicking?
Just like that.
And then you slowly take it out. You know, you light it and the flame comes up.
Well, try it now. It's right behind you.
All right.
You're going to master it in one go now.
I haven't tried it in so long because I got triggered.
Oh, you'd hear him swearing.
Okay, yeah, holding it down. Slowly off.
See?
Oh, stove's easy. One more time.
You're definitely doing it a lot slower now, so you've got a lot more patience.
I can do it.
You'd hear him trying to make his eggs and
I can use our stove now.
Well done.
Great.
You can't because the electric bills are too expensive now.
It's gas.
Gas bills are too expensive now.
So check-in's all done. I've got a little bit of time before the gym, so I'll get a couple of training plan edits done before going over there. But before I do, I did want to quickly jump on here and talk about this. So this is Yerba Mate Tea. It's something that not many people take, and I'll be honest, one of my clients got me on it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Before I implement anything, even though it's just tea, I always look at what the literature says. I look at any studies done on it, and this looks very, very promising. I mean, it's super, super cheap. I get it from Amazon, and it's like £3 for a box of tea bags. And yeah, there's been a couple of studies on it. There's a lot of animal studies, but I don't really pay too much attention to animal studies. I only look at studies what's done in humans. But anyway, two of the main ones that I looked at was one randomized trial group on obesity, people that are obese rather, and they had a placebo group and a group that took 3 grams of Yerba Mate Tea a day for 12 weeks. Anyway, the people that took the Yerba Mate Tea did have significant fat loss reduction compared to the placebo group. There was also another study done on 12 healthy females that took 2 grams a day, and they reported that during their exercise they had much better clarity, much better mental focus, which I noticed when I drink it. And they also did show benefits towards fat loss as well. So when it's so cheap, you might as well implement it. It does have caffeine in, about 80 milligrams per cup. So you don't want to have it in the evening. I like to have it whilst I'm doing client check-ins, and then I go into my workouts feeling a little bit more energized and more focused. So I'm really enjoying it. If you haven't tried it out, definitely recommend it.
This on the first one again? Yes. Fight this one with me. I'd rather be like I am, rather than asking you to do less. Yeah. You'd rather that. Right, just right. Here we go. Go! Good. Come on in. Yeah. Right. One.
Back from the gym. I'm going to be honest, I've been back for a couple of hours, but that session just absolutely fucked me. Like, from what my coach gives me, the volume is very, very low. Probably, well, it's not too low because I am progressing on it, but it's a lot lower than what I'm used to. But anyway, when I train with Matt, the volume is higher just because we like to push each other, and really enjoyable sessions, but it absolutely ruins me. So yeah, I've been pretty tuckered out the last couple of hours, but yeah, so anyway, I've recovered now, and what I'm doing now is getting the samples out. So all of our stock is in a lockup nearby, and we basically grab that and then we go to ship it out. But all the samples we keep here. So that is my afternoon job as well, is sorting through the orders, sorting out all the samples, because I weigh it all out. Like, each sample has to be bang on, because obviously in this industry, people like to weigh out their food and make sure everything is where it needs to be, so they're hitting their macros, etc. So I have to weigh out all the samples. It does take time, but it's worth doing. So gonna get all that packaged up, sent out, and then I'll probably get some steps in whilst I'm going, because then I like to go out, because it's where we ship it off is actually really close by, to a park, a really nice park. So I usually get in like 6,000 to 7,000 steps after I do that. So that is my afternoon sorted. This is basically where I walk every day. So this park is absolutely massive. So it goes all the way down there, it goes past Plymouth Argyle football pitch, and I walk around it. It gets around 7,000 steps in, so it's like perfect. And I usually get to this point because this is near the end, and I just sit and chill. It's quite an odd thing for me to do because I never usually do it, just like on my own, just have like a reflective 10 minutes, and it's really quite peaceful to do because, as you can see, like no one's ever around. And yeah, I just like to be on my own sometimes at this stage of prep. Like digging quite deep, it is very, very challenging, and just it's quite hard. It's like Georgia's really good because she understands how hard it is, and sometimes like we just sit in silence, and she's absolutely cool with it. Just like when she's on prep, like I don't try and like, if I know she's going through a tough time, I don't try and force a conversation on her, which is great. But yeah, sometimes other people don't understand that, so it is nice to just sit here and chill basically. But I thought I'd use this opportunity because basically I put a story on my Instagram and said that I'm filming for YouTube today, so if I get any questions about prep or anything like that, then I would answer it on this episode. And I did get a few questions, so I will go through them now. So as you can see, a couple of really random ones. Would you fight 10 rat-sized crocodiles or 1 crocodile-sized rat? Probably the smaller ones, wouldn't it? Like miniature crocodiles aren't going to do much, you can just tread on it. But rats are ruthless on their own. Like rats, have you seen those like on YouTube where like rats have killed pigeons, like, and they're just running around with a dead pigeon? It's like, I wouldn't want to fuck with a big rat, no way. So yeah, the smaller ones. Favorite 3 supplements. So at the moment, being this deep in prep, it's going to be my Supreme Sleep by Conta. Just because I desperately need it to help me get to sleep. It's got quite a few products in there. I'm going to be doing a Supplement Sunday episode on it because it has really helped me drift off to sleep, and I have a good night's sleep as well. Like before, I was waking up a few times, and I genuinely have noticed a difference taking it. So that is number 1. Number 2 is just creatine. Like creatine is just, it's go-to. It's one of the most researched supplements. It does aid muscle growth. There's so many benefits. I'm so tired, I can't go into it now. But yeah, so creatine is number 2. Number 3, that's a tough one. I suppose it has to just be protein powder. Just because it just makes it so easy to hit your protein target. Like when I'm in a growing phase, I don't really eat it as much. I probably still have 1, maybe 2 scoops a day. But yeah, when I'm in a harsh deficit, when it's harder, especially being a vegetarian, to get in pure sources of protein other than like egg whites, it's quite difficult. So yeah, I do rely on protein powder quite a lot. So that's probably my 3rd one. I would say no, probably less if anything, because there's less food going through me. So probably less on that one. How do you get so lean? It's literally just time. This has taken me, as I said, 23 weeks to get to this stage. I think I could have done it quicker, probably a lot quicker to be fair, if I went more aggressive with it. I won't be doing this long of a prep again, but yeah, I put myself in not a great start position. I had a lot of body fat to lose. I was over 100 kilos as natural, and now I've dropped quite a few kilos, so around 16 kilo, 17 kilo drop, which is a fair bit. So yeah, it's just make sure that you do it, you've got enough time to do it, and obviously just a calorie deficit, so you can achieve that through expenditure, your energy expenditure, or through food. Best is to combine them both together, and then you're going to need to titrate that deficit over time, because you will get metabolic adaptation occur, which is basically where your body adapts to the calorie deficit, and yeah, so you'll need to adapt to that to keep things progressing. And the last question, probably the best question, the hardest thing about prep, and I would say it's probably, I feel very selfish at times. I feel very selfish. Like if I see people I haven't seen for a while, like I still obviously have an interest in their life and ask them what's going on with them and things like that, but all in the back of my mind at all times, I'm thinking about myself and my prep. Like I'm always thinking about When's the next meal going to be? Oh, I can't hang out for too long because I need to get back. I need to do steps. I need to do cardio. I need to go to bed or something like that. Like, it's always in my mind. I would say this is one of the hardest, I would say it's probably, it could be the very hardest sport that there is. Like, considering, you know, I'm not a professional, I'm an amateur. And if you want to progress well, even being an amateur, it's a 24-hour a day dedicated sport, because even in your sleep, you know, you've got to prioritize your sleep, make sure your sleep is as optimal as possible to get the best results. And that's even in a building phase or in a prep. So yeah, I would say I've gone off on a bit of a tangent there, but yeah, in essence, just how, I guess it is selfish, how selfish you have to be. I think that's the hardest thing. Like, even if you go out with the intention of not being selfish, you still have to be more selfish than you are before prep, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say that's the hardest thing. Now, it's always going to be a personal choice. I never like to really complain about it to people or anything like that. I absolutely love bodybuilding, and I will do this for as long as I can, basically. I live and breathe this sport, but that doesn't mean you can't, you know, express how you feel at times, and there are hard days. So yeah, if anyone ever tells you to shut up if you're doing a prep, you know, or just, oh, just quit then, like, just don't listen to it. Like, you should be able to express how you feel. Like, and there's down days with anything, right? So even in a football game, for example, if you get absolutely dominated and you lose a football game, they complain about it, don't they? It's exactly the same with prep. So you've got to relate it to the same thing. So yeah, that's it for questions. So I'm going to chill here for another 10 minutes and then I'm going to walk back. I've got some training footage to go over for clients. I like to go over their exercise execution. I usually do it earlier in the day, but I've had a few videos through, so I will go through those tonight, and then I'll pretty much chill, because I think I'll have all my steps done by the time I get home, which will be nice, so I can actually just relax for the evening. Ready to do it all again tomorrow. 19 days out, guys. I'm almost there. Buzzing for it, really buzzing for it. So thanks for watching. I'm going to do more frequent uploads especially as we approach the show. As I may have mentioned before, it's FITX first in Manchester on the 17th of April, I believe, and then 1 week later it's PCA in Exeter. So yeah, going to be bringing my A game and seeing what I can do. Cheers for watching, guys. See you in the next one.